Welcome to this GCSE revision question on histograms. Now, this is a higher tier topic, so foundation students, if you're a foundation student, this is not one for you. Now, let's see what they've given us. 5 marks, it should take about 5 minutes. The table gives information about 150 students. That's good to know because this will add up to 150. On the grid, draw a histogram that represents this information. Now, this might take more than 5 minutes because histograms tend to be quite tedious. Now, in order for you to draw your histogram, you need to have a frequency density on the side there. Now, to work out my frequency density, let's put it there. Frequency density, let's call it FD, is your frequency divided by your class width. So this is going to be my frequency here, and my class width is the distance between this number and that number in the class interval. These are called class intervals, okay? So it's the distance between that and that. This is usually quite easy to work out, but if you feel a little bit unsafe, then just use a calculator. Let me do the first one for you. So the first one means 15 divided by 10, which is 1.5. And that's because it's the frequency there, and the class width between 140 and 150 is 10. I'm just going to fill out the rest now. Okay, so now we've found the frequency densities, we can now begin plotting the graph. Now, a couple of things to note here. So as I found my frequency density, just a reminder, it's the frequency divided by the distance between here, the difference between them. So these numbers usually tend to be in decimal format anyway, so don't worry if you see some decimals. Now, let's go set everything up and get going. The next thing that we need to do is to work out a scale. So I am going all the way up to 10.2. That's my biggest number here. And what I normally do is count it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it would be sensible that for each dark line I count in ones. So let's zoom that right the way in so that we can see that happening. So I am going to go, this is going to be my 0 down here. And the other thing to notice is because I counted like that, each of these little lines will be 0.2. So 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1, and so on. Okay, so let's look at the class intervals and see what we've got. So we are going 140 to 150, 50 to 55, and so on. So I'm actually going from 140 to 180. So let's check the regular terms and see. Okay, so again, it would be a good idea to just count and see what you've got. So if I've got 140, 50, 60, 70, 80, that fits perfectly fine. So let's put those numbers down. It's always good to use up your graph as much as possible. Use up the grid because you want the graph to look as big as you possibly can get it, okay? All right, good. That's done. So now it's time to start plotting. Now, when I go to plot this, I am going to be plotting that class interval, so from 140 to 150, and it only goes up to 1.5. So that's a little graph that only goes up to there and around. Also, notice I put a little break in the line. That's because I'm telling my examiner I'm not starting from 0, I'm starting all the way at 140. So we put a little break to say we've pulled it over. Anyway, I am just going to freehand sketch the first one just to show you what it will look like, but then I'm going to pause the video and do it all properly. So you should have a line going up there to 1.5 and down and around like that. And that's going to be the first one. I'll pause it here and do the rest. Okay, there we go. Not exactly my best work, but I've got 3 marks. This is when it gets a little bit hairy scary. So let's just zoom in so we can talk at length about this. So here we've got work out an estimate for the fraction of students who have a height between 150 to 170. Now, 150 is here, 170 is there. Sorry, 170 is here. And they want to know how many students will have that. They give you 2 marks for that. Now, there's some information we already know. Let's go and write those bits of information down. So we already know if it's from 150, then it means this bar, and this bar has got 30 students in it. So I can put my 30 in there. And we know we need this bar as well, which has got 51 students in it, which we can see there because it's a frequency, okay? And then we know this bar has got 36 students in it. So let's put the 36 there. However, we only need to go up to 170, which means we need to stop here. So I am going to put a red line in there to say I need to know how many students are in this little portion here. Now this whole portion has got 18 students in it. And if I look at this carefully, I can split it up into 3 parts. So I can say 18 divided by 3 is 6. So each portion has got 6 in it. Now I must mention here, the reason why they say the word estimate is because we are assuming that these 18 students are distributed evenly here, that there are 6 here, 6 here, and 6 there. But that might not be the case. All 18 students could be between 170 and 180, but they fall within the realm of 165 to 180. Or all 18 students could be between 175 and 180. We don't know, but we're assuming that they're evenly distributed. That's why they say find an estimate, okay? Anyway, we go back to what we're doing. We want an estimate, it must be a fraction, okay, of students. So all I've got to do now for that last bit is I know that there are 30 plus 51 plus 36 plus another 6, which altogether adds up to 123 students out of a total of 150 students. I know that because they told me in the question it's 150 students. So, and that's my answer for 2 marks. No need to try and simplify. This is done. So a little bit longer than 5 minutes than it should have taken, but we already knew questions like these tend to be a little bit long. That's the end of that question. If it made sense to you and you understood it, please give this video a like and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more videos like this. I'll see you on the next one.